morning. Let's call this meeting to order. To go to an exec session for the purposes of, I don't have the list.
2.1 Board of Education Matter Board
It's
Officers.
just that one. 2.1 Board of Education Matter Board Officers. I'd like to motion.
Second.
All in favor?
And we
Okay.
go.
Back.
Okay. Hi, Gina. Hi.
For the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ellie,
Just want to note our Board of Ed trustee, Ira Schulman, is taking part of the meeting via phone from 400 North State College Boulevard in Orange, California. So, for the election of the board president, I call for a nomination.
Nominate Scott Levy.
Second.
all in
Is it-
favor?
I'll second it if no one has.
We did.
Call for a
I
close.
move the nomination be closed.
Thank you.
Move nominations be closed.
Motion for nominations to be closed. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So it was Scott, right? Motion to appoint Scott board president.
Second.
Aye.
Motion passes. Call for nominations for Board of Education vice president.
Nominate Larry Spangle.
Second. Motion to close nominations.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Motion to appoint Laura as the vice president, Board of Education.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next order of business, the election of our new board members, so two re-elected and new board members. I'll ask you please stand and raise your, Laura, you can start. Please stand, raise your right hand, and just
Hey, Lara.
repeat the statement as below.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Byram Hills School District Board of Education member for the term of 3 years according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just have you sign that.
Great.
Please. Yeah, please. Stand and raise your right hand.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Byram Hills School District Board of Education member for the term of 3 years according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Finally, Jason, please. Stand and raise your right hand.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of the Byram Hills School District Board of Education member for the term of 3 years according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Finally, the oath of office for the president and vice president. Scott, I'll ask you to stand and raise your right hand.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Byram Hills School District Board of Education President for the term of 1 year according to the best of my ability.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Byram Hills School District Board of Education Vice President for the term of 1 year according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Turn it over to the president.
Well, so special welcome to
Congratulations
Jason
to our
Berlin
officers.
this morning, who's our new board member. And actually, we have to do an oath of office for him, right? Oh, he did, sorry.
Yeah, no, I know. I was trying to keep track. So.
All right, so,
Get it together.
yeah, you're more awake than me, and you're 3 hours earlier. So, I guess, oh, I thought you said something. So, well, welcome to the new school year, even though it seems like it's not quite the new school year yet, but I know there's a lot of planning that happens during the summer, and I'm sure it'll be another busy summer of lots of professional development and administrative work and getting prepared for opening the doors in September. And one of the fun things that we do is look at all the schools in August as they're ready to open, and so we look forward to doing that at the end of August again. But at this point, we just try to get through our organizational business so that we're all set up for the year. And there are a lot of items on the agenda in terms of approvals of whether it's appointments that we make or contracts that we have to sign in order to get ready for this next school year. So with that, I guess I'd open by asking if there are any comments from the public on any items not on the agenda. And then hearing none, I would ask for a motion to adopt the annual organizational agenda items 7 through 9. So I'm at 6.1 now. Motion to adopt items 7 through 9, and specifically this is to item 7. Well, let me start there.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions about the agenda or any edits or changes? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So now, specifically 7.1, which is the annual organizational appointments by the Board of Education for the 2019-20 school year. This is to approve appointments including, but not limited to, our banks, our legal counsel, district clerk. We all saw the list that was in the packet. I would ask for a motion to approve these appointments.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? All right, motion
Aye.
carries. Item 8, which is the readoption of all board policies, and this includes policy 2160, which is school district officer and employee code of ethics, policy 6240, investments, 6700, which is purchasing, 6700R, purchasing regulation, and this is for the school year 1920. I would ask for a motion to readopt all of these board policies.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that motion carries, and then we'll do item 9 resolutions together. There are 2 of them. 9.1 is a resolution approving designation of Board of Education members to appoint impartial hearing officers for special education hearings. That will be effective as of July 1st, 2019. And then 9.2, which is a resolution authorizing settlement by Director of Special Services in consultation with Superintendent of Schools of due process claims, effective July 1st, 2019. Motion to approve both of these resolutions.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, resolutions carry. Now we have our consent agenda, item 10. So first I would make a motion to, well, I guess we could do all of these at once. So I would make a motion to adopt and accept the consent agenda, personnel, which is item 11, special services, item 12, and business, item 13. Thanks for motion.
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that motion carries. And today we don't have any unfinished business on the agenda, nor do we have any new business. And so we jump to see if there are any staff reports.
Okay, so first, just a warm welcome back to school. I am thrilled, Jason, that you are going to be a board member for the next 3 years. Can you hear me, Ira?
I can hear you loud and clear, Commander.
Jason, I had the privilege of working with you closely for the past 2 years on the Education Foundation. I know how precise you are about your work. I know how caring you are about this whole community, and from my vantage point, I've seen qualities in you that I see in every board member here. And so I think we are all very fortunate, as is this community, to have you join us at this board, have you join this board with me. Also, I would like to thank Scott for volunteering to take on the president's role again. This is a job unto itself. Scott and I spend many hours talking to each other. It is a commitment on your part that I'm grateful you're willing to do again. You've been a great partner to me in stewarding this district for the past year. I really look forward to doing it again.
Likewise.
I have to say that I have so much confidence in this board, though, that I feel, while I am very grateful, it could be anyone on this board who could be doing that position for this community. And for that, I want to thank you, and our community should be grateful that they have all of you here dedicating this time. Lori, thank you last year for your role as vice president, which was very helpful. And Lara, welcome, welcome. This is going to be another great partnership that I look forward to, and, just your vantage point and people's different vantage points from different places they are in this community and in the school district, I think makes this board whole. I think it gives us a good global view of what's happening here and what needs to be done for the sake of all kids. You are so passionate about children, and I think first and foremost that has to happen as a board member. So I'm very grateful that you have been appointed as vice president. Looking forward to a great year, everyone. Thank you for doing this work. We're doing this work. We chose it as our profession. You're doing this because you chose it as an unpaid profession, which is really admirable, and we appreciate it so much. July and August are chock full for us. So we are starting with our administrative retreat tomorrow and the next day, where we will spend each of those days planning with our administrators. We have some really great processes to look at a human-centered design approach to all of our goals that we'll be happy to share with the board when we have our administrative cabinet here in the fall and we're sharing our goals with you. We'll be starting that work. Just a reminder to the board that you have board committee assignments to think about for next time we meet in August. So those will be on the agenda for you to start looking and for Scott to organize the group to see who would like to do different committee assignments. The one pressing assignment that we do have is for the district-wide emergency response plan, but that would be the president's role to review that document with us. So that's one that's easy for us, and the only pressing one for the summer. So the other piece is board member biographies for the district website. Jason, if you could take a look at the biographies that are on there and submit yours to Janine, and everybody else, if you can take a look at yours and see if anything needs to be updated, that would be great. And we really welcome you all to come for opening day, August 28th and 29th, which is Wednesday and Thursday, I think. Just for the first hour of the morning or so, typically, the board comes. Of course, you're welcome to stay the day, but typically the board comes for about the first hour. And we are looking forward to the start of school again. We have over 100, how many projects do we have this summer, Tim?
100 summer curriculum projects that teachers participate in.
Which is great. This is some great curriculum time and some think time for teachers. Our facilities are completely abash right now. We have, starting at 6:30 this morning, we had people out working on the field, redoing that field. We are replacing windows at the high school. We are doing major renovations of floors and ceilings and moving of classrooms at Wampus. Thanks to the Education Foundation grant, we are already underway. We'll be breaking ground in the next 2 weeks with this whole courtyard patio that is going to abut the art space for a community space at Wampus. We are really underway with our work and very excited for summer to get that done before our little children arrive back. And that is all for me, other than it's important for all the board members to know, if you don't already, that West Putt appointed a new executive director. I don't know if you plan to talk about her at all, but Karen Bellinger, I think is how you pronounce her last name, is the new executive director. I spent some time talking to her yesterday. She has spent time on the Rye School Board and is still on the Rye School Board. She, coincidentally, Lori and I were talking about this education policy fellowship at Columbia Teachers College that I'm interested in. And she actually did that last year. We had a great conversation about it. She's very active in the Rye School Board and has been very active in a number of ways with lots of different skills and talents. So she's going to be a pleasure to have there. It's a very big shoes to fill.
I was on the search committee, and it was a very thorough process, and she's excellent and has experience, not only school board experience, very significant school board experience, but also West Putt experience. She was the treasurer of West Putt. She's been on the board for a fairly long period of time, well versed in the issues and very articulate, and so I think she'll be a great leader.
Yep. Yeah. It's important to have those partners for us. And that is it for me.
Great. No formal report, just a reminder that in my packet, I have the preliminary Regents results for you. They're unofficial, but I'd like to give you an update on those results, and I'll have a full assessment report in the fall.
Nothing for me this morning.
Nothing for me.
Great. So on the committee assignments, just the one thing to throw out, actually with Jason here too, because to get your perspective, the one thing we did differently last year than ever before was having a rotating BHGF liaison. So, we each kind of took a meeting or two rather than having two people that were dedicated. So the question is, as we go into this, we don't have to solve this right now, but over the next couple of weeks, we have to figure it out. Is that a good setup, or was it disruptive and not helpful from the BHGF's perspective, and then ultimately, from our perspective as board members?
The reason we had thought to do it was for more community outreach. We figured if more people knew what was going on, there was more prongs in the community to get the word out.
Exactly.
That was
Right.
that was our purpose. It wasn't to shirk any responsibility. It was to get more coverage. So I don't know if it worked.
I can speak as the former chairman of the BHGF. I thought it was nice to have that rotating membership, just to have more exposure. I can't report back to how it worked out as far as from the Board of Education's
Sure.
perspective, if the purpose was met where there was more community outreach and everyone felt more of a alignment. But again, from BHGF's perspective, I think it was good to see different faces and hear different voices and different updates on what was going on in the district. So I think, I would probably support that, although I'd like to hear, how it played out on this end.
I liked it. I think I'm one of the few people on the board that had never been involved with the BHGF. So for me, it was nice to meet the people and get to see what goes on in the meetings. I found it very helpful.
Paper?
I enjoyed it as well. It was nice to be back and attending the meetings. My only concern was, from your perspective, Jason, was it more advantageous to have a dedicated person, a liaison back and forth? Like, would that have made a difference, or was communication still?
I don't think it would have made a difference. And I
Yeah.
think one thing that the BHF implemented probably 4 years ago, maybe 5, was having a Board of Ed report. And I think this past year, when there was a rotating Board of Ed members, everyone stepped up, gave a report, thoughtful, articulate. It was
Right.
really good for the BHF to hear those reports and see different faces, I think, of,
Good.
different representatives. So,
I felt it worked for us as well.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great. Great. Let's do it again then.
Who's the leadership of BHEF now?
Mark Beneroff is the chairman. Sharon Furling is still she's going to be in her 4th year, I believe, as president. And the leadership is very strong there. There's a really good group in place.
Good.
Excellent.
All right, great. So the other thing just to touch on, besides, like you mentioned, Jen, committee assignments, so just on that, if everyone wouldn't mind just letting me know in the next couple of weeks, try to do it in the next couple of weeks, what committees would be your preference, and then we'll try wherever possible to make that happen. But that's a process we want to try to get through, I think, in July, so that we're really set by the time we get to August with who's going to do what. And then on goals, that's the other thing that we should all start thinking about, because I think one of the secrets actually to why the district functions well is actually the district does focus on goals. And it's not just putting something down on a piece of paper, but we know it's really driving a lot of the agenda throughout the entire year. So it's one of the quintessential decisions in a way that we all have to make collectively. And so, starting to think about that process and getting some ideas as we go into the August meeting and then ultimately the September meeting to try to lock that down early in the fall is going to be, I think, really beneficial to just making sure we have a good productive year. So if anyone has ideas on that front, communication would be welcome. And then I think the last thing that we usually mention in this meeting is just because sign up, I guess, happens relatively soon. New York State School Board Association meeting. Unfortunately, this year it's not in Manhattan. It's in Rochester, but if anyone's interested, I'm sure registration will open relatively soon for that. It's a trip, but it's a good meeting. That's all I've got. And I think the last, but maybe most importantly, I really do want to have a sincere thank you for Lori and all the support that you've given me over the last year as vice president. You did an exceptional job, more than anybody could imagine in terms of vice president doing. And then I welcome Lara and a future partnership to steer us through this next school year. And I appreciate just the way the full board works together and just tries to always have the best interest of the district at heart. Anybody else have any board reports or?
I have one brief comment. Just a big thank you to, I'm going to say Chris Walsh, but it's more the high school and all the people that put effort into this year's prom and graduation. I thought
Hallelujah.
prom was a great event. The red carpet and the thought around the structure and the buses, I just thought it was really, really well done. And I would have felt terrible not giving accolades to all that were involved in coordinating that, because it's not an easy effort. And then lastly, just I thought the graduation was terrific.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful to be part of the organization and to, be right in the center of that, so. my two comments.
And thanks to the PTSA for that prom connection,
Oh, it was
because that was a
fantastic.
partnership. We could not have done it without their support.
Thank
I mean,
you.
they orchestrated everything, yeah.
Great.
Great.
All the community outreach has been fantastic this year, from homecoming straight through. It's just, I feel like the community's really drawn in,
Yeah.
and the more involved they are, the happier they're gonna be. It's like, you shouldn't be leaving the high school right at the bell. People should be drawn into our
It's
schools.
the goal. Remember the day we had everybody out here for the
Eclipse.
eclipse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To involve everyone.
At that moment, that's when I thought, this is what we need more of. We just need to have community, and for the prom, having grandparents and
Yeah.
anybody,
And
friends,
teachers, all the teachers
teachers
came.
coming, and, just being a
It's very
part of
special.
a,
Just having the pictures on Facebook and
Yeah.
involve
Uh-huh.
everybody.
It's really
It
Usually it's
did.
just, if you don't have a senior, you're not involved in prom at all.
right.
It was wonderful, it was really nice, and I heard such good feedback about the seniors visiting the other, the.
Yes,
Oh,
that was
goodness.
very, very
The
well
teachers
received.
loved that.
Yeah.
What a great Hallmark experience. Chris Walsh, great thinker.
They really are creating great experiences for our kids.
All right. On that happy note, any
Thanks, Mike.
communications to the board to report? I have none. Anybody else have anything? All right, I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the June 25th board meeting.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor? Or any edits?
Jason
Questions?
has to abstain.
Oh.
That's right. Any questions, edits? No. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? All right, thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? All right, have a good day.
Ira, thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
Kelly.
Ira.